What is this clock-like thing made of metal I found in my grandfather's house? Around 7 to 8 inches in diameter, it has numbers around it from 0 to 95, and it is stamped Morrison Brothers, Dubuque, Iowa on the front. Any ideas? The item is a bucket counter. It's for counting gallons of fuel oil, back in the day before oil delivery trucks had power takeoff driven pumps. They would simply open a valve and fill a proven 5-gallon can at a time and carry it to the tank and pour it in. This wheel allowed them to keep a tally of how many gallons had been poured in when it was time to make out the bill, hence the increments of 5. As someone who works in the oil delivery field, I'm super grateful for the advances that have been made since the 20s to 30s when this was probably used. They actually made a batch of them for the petroleum marketers of Iowa to use on their annual bucket award. This is an old truck body we have at my company. The wheel was originally mounted inside one of the rear doors. What is this porcelain kitchen device? This was found at a yard sale and maybe some kind of a separator. Around 18 centimeters tall, 10 centimeters in diameter, and has a spout by the handle. There is a flattened side with a hole that may have been used to hang it on the wall. Any idea what it is for? It's a mid-century enema can. It's actually enameled metal rather than porcelain. Enemas are injections of fluids used to cleanse or stimulate the emptying of your bowel. This procedure has been used for years to treat constipation and similar issues. The back is flat to allow for storage against a wall or bracket. A hole has been manufactured into the top of the flat side to allow hanging. I bought this bag at a flea market army surplus tent in the mid-1990s in southern Indiana. I think I paid $7 or $10 for it. It served as a great outdoor and hunting bag that I've carried for over 30 years. Since it's starting to fray and wear out, I decided to retire it. I haven't been able to find an identical replacement, and multiple Google and eBay searches have been unsuccessful. I'm no expert, but I've seen a lot of military surplus gear. I'm fairly certain the US is not the country of origin. Any ideas on the country of origin, purpose, and time period would be greatly appreciated. It's the 1960s to early 70s Bundeswehr Kleine Kampftasche, or a West German Armed Forces small combat pack, often colloquially called Brotbeutel or bread bag, because the equivalent piece of gear during World War II was called that. Despite its martial name, it was mainly for cooking and eating utensils and emergency rations. What is this silver metal object that looks like a kettle with 2 spouts and a long base? I bought it in a lot of miniatures. The base is flat on the bottom and flattened on one side. The top kettle comes away from the base and has a detachable lid. There are some markings as shown. This object was full of a white powder, and the person who opened it has since experienced headaches and has been hospitalized. Any information about it would be much appreciated. It's a miniature silver whale oil lamp. The white powder is a later addition. The sword symbol is a Dutch silver hallmark from 1906 to 1953. What is this ceramic vessel hanging from the radiator? I'm in the Netherlands and it's been a mystery since we moved in. It's empty right now, around 35 centimeters long and 15 centimeters wide. Any ideas? It's an old humidifier. You put water in it, and once you turn the radiator on, the water gets warm and slowly evaporates, making the air less dry. I'm from the Netherlands, and I remember them being around when I was a child 40 years ago. What is this 10 by 5 by 2 centimeters metal and plastic box that accommodates AA batteries found in the attic in Northern California? It was found on top of a local newspaper dated 1984. It appears to be some sort of audio component, and it also looks as if it is meant to be mounted to a wall, and also has a light component at its top. My only guess is that it would be an assistive device, like a doorbell for the hearing impaired. I appreciate any suggestions you can offer. It's a 1960s burglar alarm with light, a personal emergency alarm device about the size of a cigarette box, mainly sold to women who had to walk home alone at night. There was a pin with a hand strap attached. If you pulled the strap out, it made a lot of noise, only to be stopped by reinserting the pin or removing the batteries. It could be used in hotel rooms when the strap attached to the pin was slung around the door or window handle and the box somehow attached to the doorframe. If someone broke into the room at night, the alarm would go off. Also, putting the box in your purse and the strap around your wrist. And just a personal alarm if you got into a situation, you pulled the strap and the noise started. The flashlight was just a convenience. What are these laminated glass panels found at a yard sale in Jacksonville, Florida? It looks similar to the F4 Phantom glass posted here before. It has 5 layers. One is half an inch smaller all around. Approximately 39.5 inches tall by 12 inches wide by 1 3/8 inches thick. 5 inches wide at the top, 7 inches wide at the bottom, and 43 pounds each. Any ideas? It's an LTV A7 Corsair II windshield, an American carrier-capable subsonic light attack aircraft designed and manufactured by Ling Temco Vought. It was developed during the early 1960s as a replacement for the Douglas A4 Skyhawk. Its design was derived from the Vought F8 Crusader. In comparison with the F8, the A7 is both smaller and restricted to subsonic speeds, its airframe being simpler and cheaper to produce. The A7s were being deployed overseas for the Vietnam War in 1967. What is this brass-looking cylinder mounted to a garage wall, about the size of a banana, and it appears like it could be pressurized given the valve at the top? The house is pre-1900. The garage was built in the 50s. The label is long gone, and when you shake it, you feel liquid inside. I've not tried opening it because I have no idea if what's in it is poisonous or not. Any ideas? It's a 1940s fire extinguisher. It was made by the Union Stop Fire Corporation in Brooklyn, New York. These typically were pressure-charged and loaded with carbon tetrachloride, a non-combustible liquid that would flash to vapor when it hit flame. This action would exclude oxygen, in theory suppressing the fire by evaporative cooling and oxygen exclusion at the same time. What is this wooden statue with a square hole in the back I bought in a second-hand shop? It's roughly 25 centimeters tall, or 10 inches, and the weight indicates that it is solid wood. It smells like any kind of tobacco, but I'm mostly looking for an explanation of the square hole in the back. Did this ever have a purpose? Please let us know down in the comments. Thanks for watching. Let's make life fun.